Hey, it's Eddie with the Crippled Handyman. Hey, thanks for joining me. Hey, I want to talk about getting into the HVAC industry, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. You got the residential side of it, you got the commercial side of it, and you have the industrial side of it. I more or less was in the residential for 15 years, and I was in the commercial end for 15 years. Um, I don't think I mean, there might have been one thing I kind of touched was kind of more industrialist type product, but for the most part, no. So, like when I talk about like the residential of the sheet metal, you might be doing small, be doing housing, obviously. You'd be doing maybe small retail buildings. You may be doing, restaurants, little things like that. Now, when you get into the commercial side, and the reason I put the first like commercial like restaurants in the residential, because it's just a basic rooftop unit and just running some little bit of ductwork and branching out to your lay-in registers that are in the ceiling. Nothing too complex. When you get into the commercial world, when you're doing schools, hospitals, fire stations, police stations, libraries, jail centers, things of that sort. Um, Now you're dealing with a whole different set of type of equipment. You know, like if you're not aware, every like in a school, give you an example. In a school, there's a where the mechanical room is. There's a there's the mechanical rooms. You'll have this huge air handler, and then there'll be a chiller on the site for the cooling. There'll be a boiler for the heating. Well, then each individual classroom will have they call it a VAV box, variable air volume. So basically, the box, every classroom has their own thermostats, and it has like a damper that could shut or open to regulate the temperature of the classroom. And it'll test you like if it's in cooling season, um, the valves will open up, let the cooling go through the coils of the VAV. Then or you got other systems, fan power boxes. I don't want to get too complex with talking about that side of it. This is about getting into the HVAC industry. I really encourage anybody out there, not sure what you want to do, give it a shot. Um, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Yes, you're going to have to work hard and learn everything you can, acquire as many skills, and get your knowledge of that industry at the utmost you can. So then you can move up in position over time. If you want to be a foreman, general foreman, depending on the kind of company you work for. If it's a residential shop, not typically, maybe they'll have a superintendent, maybe not. It's typically the owner takes charge of all that kind of stuff. But you may be a technician, servicing equipment, replacing equipment, or you may be the crew that does all the new residential homes on the residential side of it. But I really encourage the HVAC industry. Um, I did that for 30 years, and due to complications with my back surgeries and stuff, I was forced out basically, and you need a back. You need a strong back. Um, yeah, you're gonna come home with aches and pains. I'm not gonna like lie about that, but that's not every day. There's days where you have a beautiful sunny day. And it's just so nice out. You and your partner or the crew that's say you're roughing it in a house. And when I say roughing in a house, I mean it's a brand new built home, and you're putting in all the ductwork. All the supply runs, the return runs. Whether you have to run early, like say the line sets. Say there's a furnace in the attic, you got to run line sets down through the walls, get them stubbed outside. Before drywall, stuff like that. But there's days where it's just awesome. I mean, I would say out of out of a let's go for out of a month. Maybe that would be easier. Out of bah, spit it out. Out of 1 month of working in the HVAC industry, you might get 2 days that might just like ooh out hard. That's where you're working your ass off. That might be just too hard. Maybe three. It's not like that every single day. Once your body gets used to it, obviously cutting steel, the first thing you're going to notice when you're cutting steel with snips, your forearms are going to be exploding in just getting a pump. They're going to be sore. But over time, it's like anything else. Like when you go to the gym, you start working out, you're going to have all that first instant pain. You're going to get through that. Before you know it, it's not as bad. Then it ends up going away. You don't have that severity of the pain anymore. It's you got to work through the pain in order to basically get yourself um, used to that. But what's so cool, like I said, when people talk about, I don't know why people steer people away from construction. I would understand if you're like, hey, don't be a laborer, like a brick laborer or anything like that in the commercial world. Those guys work their butt off. They're young guys. They're always young guys for the most part. I've seen older guys, but not when I say older, they might be hitting 40. Primarily, they're in their 20s. And that's when, they got strong bodies, strong backs. And yeah, but we're just talking HVAC. Um, you could pick any industry you want. If you want to be a carpenter, if you want to be a plumber, electrician, drywaller, painter, cabinet maker, tile setter, roofer, uh, an operator, concrete guy. I had another video about what I thought the three, it was like the four most physical type jobs in the residential end. It actually changes in the commercial. I still have to do a video about that. But to get into the HVAC industry, ladies and gentlemen, it is like one of the most amazing career paths you will choose. You will not be disappointed. And here's one thing that's kind of cool about it. Say you're a service guy and you learn how to do service. You're never worried about your own property. You're not worried about your own air conditioner. You're not worried about your own furnace. And you're able to fix it. And to hire a service tech to come out to fix your equipment, the money savings are huge. You just primarily have to pay for a part. And if you were whatever company, whoever your boss is, I'm sure they're pretty cool enough and be like, "Hey, so and so, hey Jimmy, yeah, just give me this for the part." Or you may have a really super cool boss, and if it was only like a $20 part, be like, "Hey, don't worry about it," and that's his appreciation of you. If you get a boss that's like, "Yeah, don't problem. If you want to do some side jobs, that's cool," that's a cool boss. Bosses that strict their employees from doing side work, um, I think they're inferior of their employee. I think that's wrong. I think if the guy's good and he wants to provide more for his family, he shouldn't have to sign a document saying, "No, I won't do a side work." That's a crock. Don't work for that kind of company, that kind of boss. Because that means he's infuriated that inferior of you possibly starting your own company. And if you want to start your own company, so be it. Maybe the boss you're working for is an older guy. You could buy his company. Think about that. You know, but getting in the HVAC industry is such a reward overall. I had more days of being rewarded. I just felt privileged to be able to learn such an amazing field. And it's such a huge industry. I mean, the residential, you got that side of it, which is it's the easier side. It's more like go 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 kind of side of it. Doing a house, you only have so much time to get it done. I mean, commercials like that somewhat, but in the big commercial world, you're doing, primarily whether you're a union sheet metal worker or you're non-union, I don't care. The positives of the union, you get pensions, health care, annuities, uh, free training, free schooling. I mean, the list goes on and on. But in the big commercial world, you learn so much more. I thought I knew a lot. I was at my peak after 15 years working for the family business. I had to move on to another bigger company in the Chicagoland area. And the stuff that I never personally installed, everything that comes to me just comes to me naturally. It's like, oh, okay, oh, that's cool. I didn't know that that's how that works, you know. Um, I didn't have to like get retrained. I had the opportunity to like build that kind of system. I was stuck building simple systems, you know, doing residential and small retail. But when you get to do large systems in the big world, it is such an honor to be able to know that I am building this system for a better, cleaner air, for the quality air for these kids in this school, or a better system for this hospital to have cleaner air in a hospital. You're dealing with HEPA filters and so forth, different types of equipment, which is so cool. You're part of something larger than just installing stuff. You're actually providing better air for people to breathe, whether it's in their homes or it's in a business, in a restaurant, in a school, in a hospital, in a police station, in a library. The air is at its utmost cleanest that you are able to be part of building a system for people to, say people with asthma or this or that. We've done projects where there's special systems we put in because of people's or children's type of breathing issues, whether it's severe asthma or stuff like that. And it's a great reward to be part of something like that. So you're not just like working and thinking you're going in to get collect a paycheck. The people that go in for that are going to stay at their level. They're going to stay here. I'm going to mention three things that are the most important in any career. If you want to be successful and be above the top with the rest up here instead of down here, you got to work hard. No ands, ifs, or buts. Be the first guy on the job. Be the last guy to leave. Show up every day. Don't call in sick because you got a little sniffle. You know, I never miss a day of work. I missed a year almost. I broke my neck. I had to wait till my neck all healed before I could go back to work. That was a reason. But work hard. Stay an extra 20 minutes talking with the owner of the company. Learn about him. Learn about, so you guys, and maybe ask questions. Maybe you work for a company that a boss that's, say, 70, 65 years old and he doesn't have any kids. And you could ask him, hey, are you thinking about selling the business down the road? Maybe we could work something out. You could become that new business owner. Think about that. Number two, skills, education. When I say education within that industry, learn everything you can. Get as much knowledge as you can in your field, whatever it is. But say HVAC, understand all the ins and outs, understand all the equipment, understand how a furnace works and operates perfectly. So if something breaks down, you go and service it, you know exactly what it is. These furnaces since the 80s, they have these circuit boards. And when they would have like a light would if it flashed once, it could be this, flash twice, this and that. So it kind of started making it easier for the service technicians. In that side of it, they have like there's actual troubleshooting the way the circuit board is analyzing what's wrong with the equipment. Um, but acquires much knowledge and skills in that industry. And number three, come with a good mindset, have good morals. Be honest with yourself, be honest with your employer, be honest with your coworkers, be true to yourself, and just basically just be a good person. Just have good morals. So work hard, acquire skills, as much knowledge as you can, and have great morals. Those three there will put you in a whole different position. When you see the people out there, it's like, wow, that'd be, don't be jealous of them or don't envy people that have a lot of money or anything like that. Never do that. Say to yourself, it's like, I may not hit that tower. I may not be able to climb that high, depending on what it is. If the guy's worth $40 billion, and it's like, if I could be worth $1 million or $2 million, I'm happy with that for myself. Do what is best for yourself. Be happy for yourself, but always reach. They talk about reach for the stars, But those are the three main things you definitely want to do. And don't listen to all this nonsense, or whatever, the negativity. Oh, don't do that. It's hard on your body or anything like that. You know, my back situation, you're like, oh, your back's screwed up. Well, that wasn't from the industry. I'll tell you that right now. I had an accident at 5 years old and jacked up my body, and I still worked in that industry for 30 years. Yeah, because I got into like exercising, working out, building the core, just building strength for the industry. And it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit of strength. There's furnaces, air conditioners. You still have to pick them up, put them on the truck. There's a lot of physics. I used to do all that all by myself. There's just ways on how you could do it. But get into the HVAC industry. Give yourself and your family an amazing opportunity of the different successes you'll accomplish and achieve in that world. And I encourage it so much. If it's not HVAC, electrical, everything that I talked about, the three things: work hard, acquire all the skills, and have good morals. That's with anything. Anything. Those three things are very important to have. My wife's in the medical field. She has those, all three, and she's successful. Um, with relationships, with everything with her patients, all those things. So, on that note, I'm gonna leave it as get into the construction world. Um, we are short of construction workers. Not gonna lie, we need you, and do your best. Always do better the next day. Wake up with goals, and you will reach the stars from whatever it is. I wish you all the best. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you watched to the end, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And, well, we'll see you on the next one. All right.